Hello everyone, this is Startups in 60 Seconds. I'm Harry Palmer and today I'm joined by Ashley Payne from the company The Code Zone. So Ashley, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell us what The Code Zone is all about.
My name is Ashley Payne and I'm the co-founder and the chief operating officer of The Code Zone. The Code Zone is an interactive, in-person and online platform, uses a very simple drag and drop code block style interface. The mission is to have to increase skills, interest and awareness in coding, and to do that in a fun and socially engaging way. There are two aspects to the business. The clubs we see as the core of the business, like the beating heart, which offers a weekly themed code-related challenges where we use physical hardware such as drones and robots, and really focusing on the context of sort of the problems and challenges we're setting for the children to promote creativity and problem solving. And the children that would typically attend are ranging from the ages of 6 years to 14 years of age, where we run different clubs based on the age groups and sort of abilities of the children. The other part of the Code Zone is a recently launched online platform, which essentially its mission is to take the successful club format and to translate that into a digital online model. And that was mainly in response to COVID-19 and the issues that came about from not being able to run the clubs. The online platform uses gamification, so setting quests and challenges for the users, social events, so gatherings where people can work collaboratively and challenge each other and share projects, build battles where there's a competitive nature and sort of league tables, as well as tutorials and walkthroughs to sort of create a bit more of a structured environment. And that's all done in a very safe, friendly way where it's fully moderated and supported by trained zone leaders, which are essentially managing the platform.
So what exactly is your USP? What differentiates you from any competition that may exist?
When we looked at the sort of other platforms out there, there are a number of noteworthy and relatively established projects that offer services in this sort of sector. However, what we found is that they sort of lacked bringing together the ideas of either it being on one hand a course and like sort of a very much like a structured sort of progressive lesson-based format, or alternatively a game like an app that you would download from the App Store. There was nothing really in between that sort of brought those experiences together and empowered the user to either go on sort of a self-led journey of progression with assistance where necessary, or something that was more of a hybrid where they could do that but also have the support from trained staff. So we sort of consider that this hybrid experience that we're bringing together, where we're able to offer both the sort of support to the user and also the functionality for them to just on their tablet or their device use the platform as and when they see fit. I suppose one of the other main USPs that sets us aside is the social aspect. A lot of platforms are very much like you're going on your own journey without any sort of ability to interact with other people that are doing the same thing as you. So we really focused on the social aspect of it, and how you can collaborate and engage with other people on topics and actually, take part in events, which are a very successful and interesting part of the platform. One of the third sort of major ones would be the fact that we aren't just an online business. A lot of companies focus on an online app proposition or a course proposition, digital like virtual course. We don't just offer that. We have the actual in-club experience as well. So the children that use the online platform are also able to come to our physical clubs and get an experience where their growth online can translate to working with hardware and sort of building games and projects that are in the real world, and vice versa. You can be in a club and also go online as well.
Yeah. So when were you founded?
The actual company was founded in April 2019. This was the clubs essentially. So when we started, we were running regional clubs. We ran just one to start with, which served around about 50 people in a local area.
Yeah.
With that being really successful, we expanded out pretty quickly, bringing on an employee to assist with running the clubs, expanding into Cambridge, which is a real tech hub, an interesting place to expand into as one of your first regions. They've got Raspberry Pi that are there and other major sort of players in this sector. So it was interesting sort of, stepping on their toes. you could say. So from founding it, moving into that area and expanding the clubs over the course of a year. COVID-19 then had other ideas about that expansion, so we obviously had to put a stop on that and focused on the online platform, which was established in March 2020, I suppose, and it's recently just launched.
So do you have any co-founders or a founding team you'd like to mention?
CodeZone was founded by myself and a chap called Paul Allington, who is our CTO. Paul's background is in development, software development. He's an award-winning freelancer outside of the other stuff he does for the CodeZone. So he's got years of experience in building functional, really sort of cool applications that are not just something that works, but something that really is able to sort of be built upon and done in a way where it takes into account not just the code, but the user experience and all of the aspects that make it something, a pleasure to use. Paul was sort of the other core member of the team. And then we have people positioned around content and marketing in the business, and they were brought on at a slightly later date, but nonetheless they are all essential to keeping the business moving forward, and especially in the content regards to content, producing the interesting challenges for the children on a weekly basis, which we do. That's something that really requires a lot of creativity and perseverance when it comes to keeping children happy.
So how much money have you raised so far?
The original investment was around the hardware. So when we talk about the clubs, what we're essentially saying is laptops, drones and robots. So those bits of hardware themselves cost, say, about £200 per bit of kit for the users. So to get the number of clubs running, where we had to have essentially like two rounds of equipment plus backups, we were talking about only about a 15k investment to actually get the hardware up and going. In terms of time and sort of effort initially, myself and Paul worked for a long period where we were just putting our time into it to really try and see the growth of the business as like the major goal, rather than drawing any money or drawing anything out of the business. When the online platform was conceived, it was quite clear, because of the team we needed to put together, we would need some further capital and funding to allow that to happen. Even though a lot of development is done, nearly all the development is done in-house, we still have to account for our time and account for the external costs with the design and artwork and that side of things. So we completed an application for Innovate UK, which is one of the UK's main grant application authorities in the UK, and that was for about £45,000. So over 8,000 businesses, companies applied for this in various sectors: ed tech, health. It was basically to any company that could show that they were making a difference and they were having an effect on the COVID-19, the outcome of sort of businesses in COVID-19 situations. So we were successful and we secured the funding on that. There was less than 800 companies that actually were awarded funding in the end. That's what has allowed us to really drive forward the online platform and actually get it going and developed.
So are you planning another investment round soon? And if so, how much are you hoping to raise?
We are looking to bring on some further funding, and we are in talks with Innovate UK about how this might happen, and they're supporting us. They've been an excellent group of people and very supportive of the projects that they've been able to fund, and obviously we hope they continue to support us. So the extra funding that we're looking for, somewhere around the sort of 25k, which would be to sort of push our model that we've got right now, to really exploit the opportunity we have to attract users to the platform, but also to expand and take this product into schools and other sort of places where it could have real, be really applicable and sort of allow users to get the benefit of what we've created.
So what are your current key performance indicators and how are you tracking against them?
I mean, obviously we have sign-ups is the number one thing that we track, which is the amount of users on the platform and how we bring them to the platform. So that's obviously leveraging tools that are available to us via analytics that we have internally that track how many people are signing up and at what points they're dropping out of our flow. In terms of the KPIs and tracking outside of just the users, in the quantity of users and signups, what we also look for is tracking the engagement on the platform. So the amount of people that are taking up the challenges, the amount of people that are participating in events and sort of getting together in the social after school hangouts that we have set up. So tracking those to sort of see how people are generally using and moving through the platform, as well as the progressing of our leveling and quest system. So it's a very gamified system. So we sort of take those metrics, look at those, see how the users are moving through the platform, and adjust the sort of the difficulties for them based on how much time they're taking to complete a challenge, how much time they're sitting inactive on a particular bit of code or something like that. It's a very much a two-way system. We're not just dumping people in and giving them sort of nowhere to sort of get feedback. It's well thought out in that sense.
Okay, great. So are you currently hiring?
We are considering hiring for positions in the online zone leader, we call them. So rather than just it being a helper position or like a tutor type position, it's a zone leader is what we call it. So we are considering hiring into that position, but it's all very much hinged upon the growth. The core team we have in place right now is enough to sort of keep things moving in the right direction. However, we have to be aware that it is a platform that requires interaction. So as the users scale, we have to also scale our team at the same time to make sure we are providing a high level of service.
Thank you, Ashley Payne, for taking the time to be interviewed today. And thank you for watching this video. And remember, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the interview.